It's 2:47 inches the morning. You are lying perfectly still, eyes wide open, staring at the ceiling. And your brain is replaying the text you sent 3 days ago, again. Did the period at the end sound passive-aggressive? Was the okay too short? Should I have used sure instead? Why did I add the smiley? Why did I not add the smiley? You've been awake for 47 minutes. Your brain has run the same loop 200 times, and nothing has been solved. Why won't your brain just shut up? Quick disclaimer, I'm one of you. I rewrote this opening line 14 times while narrating a video about overthinking. The irony hurts. So today, I'm painting 7 signs your brain is stuck in overthinking mode. If you tick more than 4, welcome. We've been waiting for you. First, let's clear something up. Thinking and overthinking look the same from the outside. They are not the same thing. Thinking has an exit. You walk in with a problem, you walk out with a decision. Overthinking has no exit. You walk in with a problem. You walk in circles. You leave with the same problem, but now you're tired. Scientists have a real name for this. Rumination. It comes from a Latin word that literally means to chew again, like a cow. A cow chews the same mouthful of grass over and over and over. That's your brain, chewing the same thought, never swallowing. Here are the 7 signs you're chewing instead of digesting. Sign: has hone. You replay conversations like a bad movie. 6 months ago, you were at the movies. The employee handed you your ticket and said, "Enjoy the show." And you said, "You too." You walked away. You realized what you said. And here we are, half a year later, and your brain is still bringing it up. But it's worse than that. You don't just remember it, you re-edit it. Now you're directing a better version. Thanks, you have a good shift. You're rehearsing the witty version, mentally practicing, for a moment that ended 6 months ago and will never come back. Here's what your brain is doing. Every time you replay the memory, your brain activates the same emotional circuits as if it were happening right now. The same cringe, the same heat in your face. A tiny new shot of stress hormones. Your brain thinks it's studying. It thinks it's learning. It isn't. Your brain isn't reviewing the tape. It's burning it deeper. Sign #2. You ask, what if, 47 times before bed. It's 11 p.m., you're tired, you're warm, you're almost asleep. And then your brain whispers, what if I lose my job? Then, what if I can't pay rent? Then, what if I have to move back in with my parents? Then, what if my parents are disappointed in me forever and I die alone in a studio apartment that smells like microwave noodles? 5 minutes ago, you were fine. Now you've lived through 14 disasters that haven't happened. May never happen, probably won't happen. This is called catastrophizing. And here's why it works on you. In your brain, there's a tiny almond-shaped alarm called the amygdala. Its job is to detect threats. The problem is, it can't tell the difference between a real threat and an imagined one. So when you imagine losing your job, your amygdala doesn't go, oh, this is just a thought. It goes, fire, everywhere, panic. And it floods your body with stress chemistry. For something that isn't happening. For something you invented 2 minutes ago. Your brain isn't planning. It's panicking in slow motion. Sign #3. Simple decisions feel like NASA missions. You are at Starbucks. You have been standing at the counter for 4 minutes. The barista has stopped smiling. The line behind you is sighing. A small child is judging you. And you still cannot decide between a latte and a cappuccino. You know they're basically the same drink. You know whichever you pick will be fine. You know, and this is important, it is just coffee. But your brain is running a 47-step decision tree. What if I order the latte and someone else's cappuccino looks better and I regret it for the next 8 to 10 minutes? This is called decision paralysis. And here's the part that hurts. A psychologist named Susan Nolan Hoeksema spent her career studying overthinkers. She found something brutal. The more you analyze a decision, the worse the decision usually gets. Your brain believes more thinking equals better choosing. It does not. More thinking just means more noise, more doubt, and a barista who now hates you. Here's the secret. Overthinking a decision isn't really about the decision. It's about avoiding the moment when you have to commit and be wrong. You're not deciding. You're hiding from deciding. Sign #4. You need to know what everyone thinks of you. You sent a text to your friend 12 minutes ago. It says, delivered. Then it says, read. Then, nothing. She hasn't replied. So your brain, being helpful, gets to work. She's mad at me. Did I say something weird? Was the joke not funny? Did the joke offend her? Is this the end of our friendship? You are now mentally rewriting your entire relationship based on 12 minutes of silence. Meanwhile, your friend is just driving with her phone face down, listening to a podcast. This is called mind reading. Your brain has a normal, healthy ability called theory of mind, the power to imagine what someone else is thinking. It's how empathy works. It's how you understand people. But in an overthinker's brain, that ability gets weaponized. Instead of using it to connect, you use it to manufacture evidence that you are being rejected. And the evidence is always bad. Have you noticed that? Your brain never says, maybe she's just busy and loves you. It always goes straight to, she hates you and is probably writing a group chat about you right now. You're not reading her mind. You're writing fiction with your name on it. Sign #5. You can't sleep, but not because you're wired. You are exhausted, like genuinely, bone tired. You drag yourself to bed. You turn off the light. Your head hits the pillow. And then, click. Your brain turns on. Suddenly, you're thinking about the email you have to send Tuesday. The thing you said in 2017. That movie everyone's talking about. The fact that your mom hasn't called this week. Did you lock the front door? What's the actual difference between a sea lion and a seal? Why does your brain choose 11 p.m. to file every loose thought you've ever had? Here's what's happening. When your body finally rests, your brain switches into something called the default mode network, the DMN. In a normal brain, the DMN is where peaceful daydreaming happens. Soft, drifting thoughts. The pre-sleep brain spa. In an overthinker's brain, the DMN gets hijacked. It turns into a rumination factory. The same network, completely different output. Your bed is a stage. Your brain is the unwanted opening act. Sign #6, your body tells you first. Quick check. Right now, while watching this, where are your shoulders? If they just dropped 2 inches, congratulations, they were touching your ears. This is sign number 6. You don't feel stressed, but your body is telling on you. Your jaw is clenched. Your stomach is tight. There's a low headache you've been ignoring all day. Your hand is making a fist for no reason. You don't remember when any of this started. Here's why. When your brain overthinks, it doesn't just stay in your head. It releases a stress hormone called cortisol into your entire body. Cortisol doesn't care if the threat is real. It only cares that your brain thinks there's a threat. So, your body goes into fight or flight mode. Your muscles tense up. Your gut clenches. Your heart speeds up a little. You are, physically, preparing to run away from an unanswered text message. This is why chronic overthinkers get headaches, jaw pain, stomach issues, insomnia, random fatigue. Your brain is lying. Your body is the witness. Your body keeps the receipts, even when your brain pretends it's fine. Sign #7. You confuse worrying with caring. This is the heaviest one. Stay with me. Somewhere along the way, you learned a strange equation. Worry equals love. If you stop worrying about your mom, does that mean you don't love her? If you stop analyzing your relationship, does that mean you don't care? If you stop checking on your friend, are you a bad friend? So you keep worrying. You keep analyzing. You keep overchecking. Because somewhere deep in your chest, it feels like the worry itself is what proves you care. Here's the painful truth. This is something psychologists call magical thinking. Your brain quietly believes that worrying about a bad thing somehow stops it from happening. It doesn't. Worrying about your mom doesn't keep her safe. It just keeps you exhausted. Worrying about your relationship doesn't make it stronger. It just makes you anxious inside the relationship. Worry and care are not the same thing. They feel the same, but they go to completely different places. Care reaches toward the person. It calls them, hugs them, asks how their day was, listens. Worry reaches inward. It pulls you back into your own fear. The other person doesn't even know it's happening. You can love someone deeply without destroying yourself in the process. You are allowed to. Worrying isn't loving. It's loving with the brakes on. Okay, time for the part that might actually change something. Why does your brain do all of this? Because it's trying to protect you. Somewhere, a long time ago, maybe a chaotic family, maybe a relationship where love felt unstable, maybe a parent who needed you to be perfect, your brain learned a single, very smart lesson. If I think harder, I won't get hurt. If I plan for everything, nothing can surprise me. If I worry first, I'll be ready. That was a brilliant lesson. For a small kid in a big situation, it actually worked. The problem? You grew up. The situation changed, but your brain kept the map. So your 40-year-old self is still navigating the world with directions drawn by your scared 8-year-old self. Overthinking isn't weakness. It isn't a flaw. It's not even a bad habit. It's a survival strategy that got you here. From a time when you didn't have other options. But you have them now. Your brain doesn't need to be fixed. It needs to be thanked and gently updated. Your overthinking brain isn't your enemy. It's a kid who learned to think hard so they wouldn't get hurt. You are not going to stop overthinking. Sorry. I know that's the line every wellness influencer wants to sell you. It's not true. Overthinking is stubborn. It has reasons. It is not going anywhere just because you tell it to. But there's one tiny question that changes everything. Next time you catch yourself in the loop at 2 a.m. at the coffee counter, after a read notification with no reply, don't ask, "Why am I thinking this?" Ask, "What is my brain trying to protect me from right now?" That question doesn't shut the loop off, but it does something gentler. It loosens it, just enough for you to breathe. Because the moment you stop fighting your overthinking and start listening to it, it stops fighting back so hard. Your weird brain isn't broken. It's just trying way, way too hard. Painted simple. If you ticked more than 4 signs, welcome. You're in extremely good company. Most of us are quietly losing our minds at 2 a.m. together. Subscribe to Painted Brain. Every week, I take one weird thing your brain does and paint it simple. The stuff nobody explains. The stuff you've felt your whole life but never had words for. The next video might be about you. Honestly, it probably is. I'll see you in the next one.